Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be looking over these Acme boots. They're a vintage find that I found at a Goodwill and they were in terrible shape. I started wiping them down a little bit and decided, you know what, let me make a video. As you can see, the front tips are destroyed and super faded. The backs are scratched up. The tops look okay, but you can see right here the branding, Acme. The bottoms have this weird rounding that they kind of look like they got after so many years of wearing. Here's some of the tools I'm going to be using. Sapphire, I've always wanted to use sapphire. Saddle soap, and some cleaner that I got. First, you got to put in your shoe trees just to kind of help them start regaining their shape. I use wooden shoe trees so they can absorb the most moisture from the boot. I mean, I haven't worn the boot, but what if there is any moisture, it'll absorb it. But I use this light cleaner for the main big part of the boot just because I didn't want it to bleed or pull any of the dye or colors off. It probably wasn't going to since the boots are super old, but I didn't want to risk it. It got off a lot of like the basic dirt grime that got built up within the years. Now, one thing that I do is I clean it, but I make sure to also use Feebling's leather conditioner. Well, it's not conditioner. Oh, it conditions the leather too, but it's a cleaner. But it also conditions. It's got like oils in it. I'm not gonna sit here and say like I'm a pro, but all this stuff is just things I learned on YouTube. So I didn't really want to pay anyone else to do it, so why not just do it myself so I can learn how to do it. And I enjoy doing it too. So. This little black towel is honestly just a black towel I got from the car wash. I'll return it. But I don't know if you can kind of tell. Basically, I get that little top lid and fill it up with some water, and then get the brush and then pick up some of that soapy stuff on the brush and then spin it in the water, causing it to kind of get that little foamy material. And then I go over the boot and then just kind of wipe it down. You can already see the color kind of coming out or brightening up, but it's most likely just because it's wet. But we're gonna make sure to let it dry before we go to the next step. This is some bubble wrap that I found that we're gonna just put it in there just to kind of give it a shape, so when it dries it kind of stands tall and holds itself so it doesn't fall over. It's not going to be like the perfect fix, but it's going to help shape it to the shape I want it to be. Look at those colors with the red definitely popping out. So I'm going to leave them by the window overnight. I think I left them for like 2 days, but here we are. They're dry. They look way better already. So Saphir is this shoe polish that I've always wanted to use just because like some of the professional shoe YouTubers like make their shoes look amazing with it. And I happened to run by a store and saw that they had green Saphir, and it didn't really look like the exact shade, but it looked close enough. But when I started putting it on, it actually matched almost exactly. One thing you got to be careful is that this stuff really stains. So you don't want to get on any of the white or even any on the table, because that is not coming off. So I was really careful around the edges. I didn't want to go too crazy because I didn't want to accidentally get some on the white stitching. But I'll let it dry overnight just to kind of make it absorb, and then, you know, just start wiping it off. I wasn't as careful as I should have been, but, you know, it didn't seem to smear that much after I let it dry for a day. Tarago shoe polish.
Oh my gosh.
Honestly, I don't even know if this was a necessary step, but I just wanted to use it, so screw it. Shoe polishes are pretty crucial when it comes to these old shoes because, you know, they have been moisturized in a long time. So this kind of brings the life back into the leather, because you got to remember, leather is honestly skin. It's been just kind of sitting there on someone's shoes for a long time, and, you know, with the sun, the heat, and the usage, it kind of like dries it out and it can make it brittle. So you do have to kind of moisturize and nourish your shoes. This last part was completely unnecessary because those bottom little heel things aren't even leather, but whatever. Hitting with the final touches. Some mink oil, just because I wanted to use it. Mink oil makes it like waterproof. Definitely gives it a really good shine. But you don't want to use this on any leather. There's this really soft leather called Napa leather that I tried it on a bag, and it kind of like made it look really dark and not natural. But this is what it looked like before. You know, beat up, scuffed, and this is what it looked like after. Remember, everyone, there's a lot more knowledge out there on YouTube that you can figure out how to do things on your own.